Have you ever looked into an animal's eyes? I mean, really looked, past the fur, the feathers, or the scales. You see your dog gaze at you when you're feeling down. You watch a mother bird fiercely protect her nest. In those moments, a big question often pops into our minds. Can they feel what we feel? Do they understand sadness, joy, or fear in the same way we do? For centuries, we thought of animals as simple creatures. We believed they were driven only by instinct. But my travels around the world have shown me something different. I've seen things that challenge everything we thought we knew. This question isn't just for pet owners or animal lovers, it's one of the biggest mysteries in the natural world. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. We think of it as a very human trait. It's what connects us, it's what makes us kind. But what if empathy isn't just ours? What if this powerful emotion is shared across the animal kingdom? Imagine a world where the creatures we share our planet with have rich emotional lives. It would change how we see them. It would change how we treat them. This is the journey we're going on today. Think about it for a moment. When your dog rests its head on your lap after a tough day, is that just a learned behavior for a treat? Or is it something more? When a dolphin helps an injured companion stay afloat, is that just a simple reflex? The evidence I've seen suggests it's much deeper. These aren't just random acts. They are patterns of behavior that hint at a complex inner world. We are beginning to pull back the curtain on the secret emotional lives of animals. The stories are incredible. They are heartwarming, and they are changing science forever. So, let's explore this amazing world together. We'll look at incredible stories from the wild plains of Africa to our own living rooms. We will dive into the exciting science that is finally giving us answers. We are learning that the line between us and them is blurrier than we ever imagined. The animal kingdom is full of surprises, it is full of intelligence, and yes, it is full of feeling. Let's get ready to see animals in a whole new light. The adventure begins now. Are you ready? Let's start with the animals we know best. Our pets. Dogs and cats have lived alongside us for thousands of years. They've become part of our families. We talk to them, we play with them, and we are certain they love us back. Countless stories support this idea. Think about a time you were crying. What did your dog do? Many owners report that their dogs come over to them. They lick their tears, they nudge them with their wet noses, they rest a heavy paw on their knee. It feels like they are trying to say, I'm here for you. It's going to be okay. This isn't just wishful thinking. Scientists have studied this very thing. In one experiment, they had owners pretend to cry. They compared this to the owners humming a simple tune. The dogs consistently showed more interest in their crying owners. They approached them faster and showed submissive behaviors. These are the same behaviors they use to comfort a distressed puppy in their own litter. It suggests they recognize our sadness. They are not just reacting to a loud noise, they are reacting to our specific emotional state. It's a simple, powerful form of empathy right in our homes. Cats, too, have their own subtle ways of showing they care. People often think of cats as independent or aloof, but many cat owners will tell you a different story. A cat might purr loudly and rub against you when you're sick in bed. That purr isn't just a sign of their own contentment. Some studies suggest that the frequency of a cat's purr can promote healing. They might be trying to comfort you in the best way they know how. They might bring you gifts, like a toy or, less pleasantly, a mouse. This is a version of what they would do to care for their own kittens. These actions go beyond simple training. You don't teach a dog to comfort you. You don't reward a cat for purring when you have a fever. These are behaviors they offer freely. They seem to spring from a genuine connection. This bond is built on more than just food and shelter. It's built on shared experiences and a mutual understanding that crosses the species barrier. Our pets are not just observing us, they are in tune with our emotions. They are active participants in our emotional lives, offering comfort without ever speaking a word. Their actions speak volumes. Now, let's journey from our homes to the vast savannas of Africa. Here, we find one of the most emotionally intelligent animals on the planet, the elephant. Their famous saying, "An elephant never forgets," is more than just a myth. It speaks to their incredible memory and their deep social bonds. When it comes to empathy, elephants show us something truly profound. Scientists and observers have documented countless instances of elephant mourning. When a member of their herd dies, the family doesn't just move on. They grieve. It is a powerful and moving sight to witness. The herd will often gather around the body of the fallen elephant. They stand in silence for long periods. They will gently touch the body with their trunks, almost like a caress. I've seen footage of elephants trying to lift a dead companion back to its feet. They show clear signs of distress. Sometimes they will cover the body with leaves and branches. It's a behavior that looks remarkably like a burial ritual. This isn't a one-time event. They will return to the site of the death for years to come, pausing to once again touch the bones of their lost loved one. This behavior shows a deep understanding of loss. It is not just about a missing member of the group, it is about a specific individual they cared for. Elephants have been observed showing this same respect for the bones of any elephant, not just those from their own family. They will stop in their tracks when they come across a skeleton. They will pick up the skull or the tusks, passing them around the group with their trunks. It's as if they are paying their respects to a member of their species. This suggests a broad sense of community and shared identity. This empathy extends to the living as well. Elephants are incredibly protective of their young and their family members. If an elephant is injured or stuck in the mud, others will rush to its aid. They will work together, pushing and pulling to free their companion. They will bring food to an injured herd member who cannot walk. These are not simple instinctual acts. They require understanding the other elephant's situation and having the motivation to help. It's this combination of intelligence and compassion that makes elephants one of the best examples of deep empathy in the animal kingdom. For a long time, talking about animal emotions was considered unscientific. Scientists were afraid of anthropomorphism. That's the big word for giving human traits to animals. But now the evidence is becoming too hard to ignore. New tools and new studies are giving us a window into the animal mind. Researchers are moving beyond just observing behavior. They are now looking at the brains and bodies of animals to understand the biological roots of their feelings. And what they're finding is absolutely amazing. It's a total game changer for how we understand life on Earth. One of the most exciting discoveries involves something called mirror neurons. These are special brain cells that fire both when an animal does an action and when it sees another animal do the same action. Think of them as the brain's imitation cells. When you see someone smile, your mirror neurons for smiling fire. This helps you understand what they are feeling. Scientists have found these mirror neurons in primates, like monkeys and apes. They've also found them in dolphins, elephants, and even some birds. This is a huge piece of the puzzle. It suggests a shared neurological basis for empathy across many different species. Another area of research is looking at hormones. When we feel stressed, our bodies produce a hormone called cortisol. When we feel love or connection, we produce oxytocin, often called the love hormone. Scientists can now measure these hormones in animals. They've found that when a dog is reunited with its owner, its oxytocin levels spike. That's the same thing that happens in a human mother's brain when she sees her baby. Researchers have also seen that when one prairie vole comforts another who is stressed, the stressed vole's cortisol levels go down. This is concrete biological proof of emotional connection and comfort. Even rats are showing us their compassionate side. In a famous experiment, a rat was placed in a cage with two containers. One held a piece of chocolate. The other held a trapped cage mate. The free rat could have easily eaten the chocolate first. But time and time again, the rats chose to free their companion before going for the treat. In many cases, they would even share the chocolate. This shows they value the well-being of another rat over their own immediate reward. It's a clear example of helping behavior driven by empathy. These studies are changing everything, proving that animal feelings are real and measurable. Empathy is amazing enough when it happens between members of the same species, but what happens when an animal shows compassion for a completely different kind of creature? These stories are rare, but honestly, they are some of the most powerful examples of all. They really challenge our ideas about the boundaries of empathy. Can an animal really understand the distress of another species and feel compelled to help? The evidence says yes. These incredible acts of kindness across the animal kingdom show us that the capacity for caring can be truly universal. It's honestly one of the most beautiful things in nature. One of the most famous stories comes from the ocean. There are multiple well-documented accounts of dolphins helping humans. In some cases, they have protected swimmers from sharks by circling them. In others, they have pushed drowning people towards the shore. It's kind of hard to explain this behavior as pure instinct. The dolphins gain no obvious benefit from helping a human. It seems they recognize a creature in distress and act on an impulse to help. Humpback whales have also been seen protecting other species, like seals, from attacks by orcas. They put themselves in harm's way to save an animal that is not their own. This compassion isn't just found in the ocean. There are incredible stories from land as well. Think of Coco, the famous gorilla who learned sign language. She was given a pet kitten, which she named All Ball. Coco cared for the tiny kitten with incredible gentleness. She would cuddle it, groom it, and play with it. When the kitten was tragically hit by a car, Coco's handlers told her the news. Coco expressed her sadness through sign language, signing cry and sad. She mourned the loss of her tiny friend. This shows a deep emotional bond that transcended the enormous difference between a gorilla and a cat. Even our pets can show this surprising level of care. We have all seen videos of a family dog gently playing with a new kitten, or a cat that has adopted a brood of orphan ducklings, cuddling them, and keeping them warm. These relationships really defy our expectations. They show that animals can form bonds based not on species, but on a shared need for companionship and care. These moments are a powerful reminder that the emotional world of animals is far richer and more complex than we ever gave them credit for. They teach us that compassion knows no bounds. Empathy doesn't look the same in every animal. Just like different human cultures have different ways of showing they care, different species have their own unique language of compassion. A wolf shows empathy differently than a dolphin, a bird shows it differently than a bonobo. Understanding these different styles of caring helps us appreciate the diversity of emotional life on our planet. It's not always about hugs and tears. Sometimes, empathy is shown through a shared meal, a warning call, or a simple, quiet presence. Let's explore some of these amazing and varied expressions of care. In wolf packs, empathy is the glue that holds the family together. They are cooperative hunters, and every member of the pack depends on the others. When a wolf is injured and cannot hunt, the pack doesn't abandon it. Instead, other members will bring it food from their kill. They will lick its wounds and protect it from danger. This is essential for the pack's survival. Young wolves learn by watching the adults. They see this cooperative care in action. This social learning reinforces the empathetic bonds that make the pack strong. It's a beautiful system of mutual support. Primates, our closest relatives, show empathy in ways that are very familiar to us. Bonobos, in particular, are known for their peacemaking abilities. If two bonobos have a fight, a third one will often come over to comfort the loser. They will embrace, groom each other, and share food. This is called consolation behavior, and it is a clear sign of empathy. They seem to understand the feeling of being upset after a conflict, and actively try to make their companion feel better. Chimpanzees also show this behavior, though they can also be more competitive. It shows how social structure can shape the expression of empathy. Even birds show signs of this complex emotion. Many birds mate for life, and the bond between pairs is incredibly strong. Crows and ravens, some of the most intelligent birds, show fascinating behaviors. If a crow's mate dies, the surviving partner can show signs that look like depression. They may become less active and call out less frequently. In some crow communities, if a member is killed, the others will gather around the body. They don't touch it, but they call loudly together. Scientists believe this may be a way of sharing information about danger, but it also functions as a kind of group alarm and shared social experience, a primitive form of grieving. Does living with humans change how an animal shows empathy? This is a fascinating question that scientists are exploring. We can compare the behavior of animals in the wild to those living in zoos, sanctuaries, or labs. By doing this, we can learn more about what parts of empathy are innate and what parts are learned from their environment. The differences and similarities are striking. They reveal how an animal's social world, whether it's a jungle or a living room, shapes its emotional expression. This comparison gives us a fuller picture of their inner lives. Animals in the wild face constant challenges. They have to find food, avoid predators, and compete for resources. In this context, empathy is often tied directly to survival. The cooperative care in a wolf pack or an elephant herd helps the group thrive. Helping a companion means the group stays strong. empathy in the wild is raw and practical. It's about mutual support in a dangerous world. A wild animal might share food with a hungry relative because it knows that one day, it might be the one in need. Their empathy is shaped by the harsh realities of their daily lives. In captivity, things are very different. Animals in a good zoo or sanctuary don't have to worry about predators or starvation. Their basic needs are met. This security can allow for different kinds of emotional expression to emerge. It can free them up to form bonds they might not form in the wild, including with different species or with their human caretakers. The story of Coco the gorilla and her kitten is a perfect example. This kind of relationship is unlikely to happen in the jungle. The safe environment allowed Coco to express her nurturing instincts in a new and amazing way. However, captivity can also present challenges to an animal's emotional well-being. A lack of social interaction or a sterile environment can lead to stress and depression. But it's in these settings that we also see the incredible resilience of animal empathy. Many captive chimpanzees who were raised in isolation have trouble connecting with others. But other chimps, who grew up in social groups, will often take on the role of a therapist. They will patiently groom and comfort the socially awkward chimps, slowly teaching them how to be part of the group. This shows that empathy is not just an instinct, but a learned skill that can be used to heal social wounds. For a long time, we dismissed complex animal behaviors as just instinct. We saw a bird building a nest and thought of it as a pre-programmed robot. We saw a salmon swimming upstream and called it an automatic response. But the more we learn about animal empathy, the more we have to question that simple explanation. The behaviors we are seeing, consolation, mourning, targeted helping, are too flexible and too complex to be pure instinct. They require an animal to perceive a situation, understand another's emotional state, and decide to act. This points to something much deeper: consciousness. Consciousness means being aware of yourself and the world around you. It's the feeling of being me. Scientists have long debated whether animals have it, but the evidence from empathy studies strongly suggests that many do. To comfort another, an animal must first have some sense of its own feelings. It has to know what sadness or pain feels like in itself to recognize it in another. This self-awareness is a cornerstone of consciousness. The famous mirror test, where an animal recognizes itself in a mirror, has been passed by apes, dolphins, elephants, and even magpies. This is another clue that they have a sense of self. Think about the rat that frees its friend before eating the chocolate. That is not a simple instinctual response. Instinct would tell the rat to get the food reward as quickly as possible. Instead, the rat makes a choice. It prioritizes the well-being of its companion over its own immediate gratification. This kind of decision-making requires thinking. It involves weighing different outcomes and acting on a motivation that goes beyond basic survival. It's a sign of a mind at work, a mind that is aware and that can make value judgments. This is far beyond what we used to call simple instinct. Recognizing this consciousness fundamentally changes our relationship with animals. If they are not just biological machines but thinking, feeling beings, then they deserve a different level of respect. This doesn't mean a dog's consciousness is the same as a human's. It's likely very different, shaped by its own unique senses and world. A dog's world is one of smell, while a bat's is one of sound. But being different doesn't mean it's less valid. Acknowledging their consciousness means we must consider their emotional well-being, their happiness, and their suffering in our interactions with them. They are not things, they are subjects of a life. We have journeyed from our homes to the wild, from the ocean depths to the science lab. We have seen dogs offer comfort, elephants mourn their dead, and rats choose friendship over food. The evidence is all around us, and it is growing every day. The big question we started with, can animals feel what we feel, seems to have a clear answer. Yes, they can. Their emotional lives may be different from ours, but they are no less real or important. They feel joy, fear, grief, and compassion. The animal kingdom is not a silent, unfeeling world. It is a world buzzing with emotion. This understanding invites us to look at animals with new eyes. It challenges us to move beyond our human-centered view of the world. We are not the only ones who feel deeply. We are not the only ones who form powerful bonds. We are part of a vast, interconnected web of life, and empathy is one of the threads that connects us all. When you see a squirrel burying a nut, don't just see instinct. See a creature preparing for the future. When you hear a wolf howl, don't just hear a noise. Hear a voice connecting with its family across a vast distance. What does this mean for us? It means we have a greater responsibility. It means we must act with more kindness and respect toward the creatures who share our planet. This applies to the pets in our homes, the farm animals that provide our food, and the wild animals, whose habitats we control. Recognizing their emotional lives requires us to think about how our actions affect them. It calls on us to be better stewards of the planet, to protect not just species, but the individuals within them, individuals who can experience suffering and joy. So the next time you interact with an animal, take a moment, look into its eyes, try to imagine the world from its perspective. Think about the feelings that might be swirling inside its mind. Let your curiosity and your compassion grow. The greatest adventure of all is not just exploring the wild places of the world, but exploring the minds and hearts of the incredible creatures that live there. By opening our minds to the reality of animal empathy, we not only understand them better, we become more human ourselves. The conversation is just beginning.